Hey guys, welcome back for another Yubel Basics. This is the combo video. This is my second time uploading it, actually, because the first time was pretty sloppy. So I want to redo it, give it the kind of more attention it deserves, and I've practiced a little bit more with the deck, so hopefully you have a little bit better idea what I'm talking about. But I just want to go through the combos, the 1-card combos, and the main 2-card combo. You may have already seen these before, but I want to have them all in one place in my Yubel Basics series. Shout outs to a few of the other combo creators that I've kind of watched and picked these up from. Those are Trinity Yugioh, Lucas Sacco, and Cards and Coffee TCG. Let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to go through 4 combos today basically, but each of those combos kind of has branches, so it's really more than 4, but I want to make sure we have them all in one spot. We're going to start off with the 1-card combos. Beginning with Dark Beckoning Beast. This is the non-Yubel combos, but you will see this combo come up when you're playing the deck. So there's actually 2 routes you can go with this, and we're going to start by normal summoning Dark Beckoning Beast, searching a copy of Opening the Spirit Gates, which we can activate, and then that will search us another Dark Beckoning Beast. Now, funnily enough, all we really have to do is normal summon another Dark Beckoning Beast, and that could be the end of our combo in some cases, where we just overlay them for a number 65 Djinn Buster. Now, why would we do that? Well, why wouldn't we go into Yama and all that stuff? Well, it kind of depends on the matchup, right? If you're playing against Fluandries, you don't want to go into Unchained Solar Rage because it only works as special summon monsters. So sometimes the Djinn Buster answer is the correct play, and you should just be aware that it's okay to do less sometimes, you know what I mean? But we're not here to watch that. We're here to see a little more complicated stuff. So we're going to go ahead and link off the 2 Dark Beckoning Beasts here for Unchained Soul of Yama, and that is going to allow us to search the copy of Sharvara. From here, what we're essentially trying to set up is Rage, right? So we're going to want to Sharvara pop something, but we don't have anything. Well, luckily, we have gates to discard whatever, some random card, to summon back a Dark Beckoning Beast to our field. And then that is what we can pop with Sharvara here. Destroy the Dark Beckoning Beast again, and then link off into a Rage. Now, here we have Sharvara to set. Now, personally, I don't play Escape of the Unchained because I think Abominable Chamber is better most of the time. So in this case, I will set Chamber, but if we do play Escape, that is a benefit in this particular scenario where we will have an additional interruption. We can pop the Rage or pop whatever, if we go Rage into Anguish, then we can pop the Anguish after. So that would be 2 interruptions, but right now we just have the one with Rage, probably into SP or into Anguish depending on what is going on. So yeah, that kind of wraps up just the 1-card Dark Beckoning Beast combo, which does come up. I know it's simple, I know it has nothing to do with Yubel technically, but you do need to know what to do with just the Beckoning Beast, because sometimes that's all you have to work with. Alright, the next combo we're going to look through is the 1-card Samsara D Lotus combo. You've probably seen this in every Yubel combo video that's ever existed, but we're going to go through it anyways. So we can here normal summon the Lotus, and then tribute it to special summon a Yubel monster from the deck. So in this case, we're going to special Spirit of Yubel, and Spirit of Yubel is going to activate to be able to add or set a card that mentions Yubel from the deck. We can do Nightmare Pain 99% of the time, or this, if you already have Nightmare Pain, is where you could also set or add Mature Chronicle or Eternal Favorite. So if you are playing these options, or if you already have Nightmare Pain and you want to get something else, these are options as well. But in this particular 1-card version, we're just going to activate the Nightmare Pain, or set it to our field and then activate it, of course. And then we can activate it to pop our Spirit of Yubel to search. So in this case, we're going to want to search the Gruesome Grave Squirmer. This is the new extender out of Legacy of Destruction. And then on resolution, Spirit of Yubel can activate because it was destroyed to special summon a Yubel from the deck. So let's go ahead and grab that. We're going to summon out our Yubel here. And then from here, we can special summon our Gruesome Grave Squirmer because we control a Fiend monster. That's pretty nice. And now we can link off, kind of go into a similar play as last time, into our Unchained Soul of Yama. Now you'll notice that most Yubel combos start with some Yubel plays to get 2 Fiends on board. Then they go into an Unchained phase where we go through all the Unchained cards. And then after that, we get back into the Yubel stuff to kind of make the best end board we can. All right. So here we have a Yama And then on Summon Yama, we'll be able to search us our Sharvara to hand. And then from here, again, just like last time with the Dark Beckoning Beast combo, we want something to pop with Sharvara to summon it, but we don't have an opening of the Spirit Gates, but instead we have a Gruesome Grave Squirmer we can banish from the graveyard to special summon back out a 0/0 Fiend from our grave, and we're gonna pick the Spirit of Yubel in this case, right? So we can go ahead and pick Spirit of Yubel and then activate Sharvara to pop that Spirit of Yubel to summon out the Sharvara, and then Spirit of Yubel can activate to summon out the Yubel from the grave. Or if you play a second Yubel, maybe you want to get it out of the deck, right? So this is where we end up here. And now we can go ahead and link into our Unchained Soul of Rage. We are Fiend locked, so we have to summon a Fiend in that spot. And then because Sharvara went to the graveyard, we can set up the trap card. Now, in almost all cases, in my opinion, you want to get your Rage to the grave. You don't want to leave it on the field, because if it gets negated, right, this trap card is kind of useless. Like, if they just start with Dark Ruler or Imperm on the Rage, then there's no way to use it. But if it starts in the graveyard, if they have to start with Dark Ruler or Imperm or whatever, then we have the trap card afterwards, after they've gone through some of their board breakers, to bring back out the Rage that's hasn't been negated or anything, to be able to actually interrupt. So yeah, that's why we want to get Rage to the graveyard every time. We're going to link off the Rage and the Yama for a link 4 or link 2 of our choice, and in this case we are probably going to go for Appaloosa. Alright, so here we end on Appaloosa for 2 plus a Rage in the graveyard with Abominable Set. Now, alternatively, what we could do, instead of Appaloosa, we had Rage and Yama here. Whoops, right there. We could go into Promethean here instead. If Appaloosa is for some reason not very attractive to you, we can go into Promethean Princess, and then Promethean can bring back the Sharvara. And then from here we can go Promethean and Sharvara into an Ambler Whale, right? So it kind of depends on your preference if you want the Appaloosa or the Ambler Whale with Princess Engrave as your interruption of choice. It kind of depends on the matchup as well. Most of the time, I think Appaloosa is probably going to be better, especially just going in blind. But it is an option that you should be aware of. All right, so that's going to wrap up our one-card Samsara D Lotus combo. And now we're going to go into the final one-card combo of the video, which is going to be the new card Nightmare Throne, which I need to find because it's in my DDD deck box. Speaking of which, you can play Nightmare Throne in DDD. And I do have a video out on it, so make sure you go check that out if that's interesting. All right, anyway, we're going to go ahead with the one-card Nightmare Throne play. Now, Nightmare Throne is a very similar one-card combo to Samsara D Lotus, because we're going to start pretty much the same way. Activate Nightmare Throne, search Samsara D Lotus, and then we're going to go ahead and normal it, tribute it, special out the Spirit of Yubel. Spirit of Yubel is going to set, and then we can activate Nightmare Pain. Okay, so where's the difference come in? Well, the difference is that Nightmare Throne will get us an extra body down the line, because if we destroy something, like if we destroy a Yubel, we can summon out another Yubel with one level higher or lower. So in the end, we're going to get an extra body, and that will get us a lot more in our combo. Alright, so from here, we're going to Nightmare Pain pop our Spirit of Yubel to search us our Gruesome Grave Squirmer, just like last time, and Spirit of Yubel is going to activate to summon out the Yubel from the deck. But this time, we have Nightmare Throne to activate as well to summon out the Yubel Terror Incarnate. We can summon one out that's one level higher, right? So this is our level 11. We're going to add it to our hand and then summon it. Make sure you don't do that under Droll. You do have to add it to your hand and then summon it. It doesn't summon straight. Anyway, so we have our two Yubel's on the field, and then we're going to special summon our Gruesome Grave Squirmer on top of that. And then we're going to go ahead and link off our Terror Incarnate and Gruesome Grave Squirmer into the graveyard for a copy of Unchained Soul of Yama, and then get into our Unchained stuff. Now, I really like to just link off this Terror Incarnate. First of all, it's a level 11, so you can't overlay it for the Varudras. And then also, if you can destroy the Yubel, then we can get this back out. But if we destroy this, if we destroy the Terror Incarnate, I'm not playing the Ultimate Nightmare, so there's really no use of leaving it on the field. So I like to get it into the grave, somewhere we can float back to it easier. Anyway, Yama's going to search us the Sharvara here. And then from here, what we're going to actually do, instead of popping the Yubel with Sharvara, we're going to go ahead and link 2 into our Rage. Now, why would we use 3 link material to make a link 2? Well, because we want to get that Yama in the grave, and we're going to get that extra material back later, because Yama's going to be in the grave to activate when we destroy stuff, right? So we're going to link off into the Rage here, and now we're going to make use of our Gruesome Grave Squirmer by banishing it and summoning out our Spirit of Yubel once again. Alright, and now we can use our Sharvara to pop the Spirit of Yubel. Here we go, summon itself out, and then Spirit of Yubel can activate to summon out our Yubel from the graveyard here. Or if you play another one in the deck, you can summon it out from the deck, right? But as well as bringing out the Yubel, we're going to be able to activate our Unchained Soul of Yama in the graveyard to bring out one more monster. So we're going to bring out the Spirit of Yubel here because it's another level 10, which will help us out in the end board. From here we can link 3 into into Promethean Princess. Now in the last effort of this video, I said, hey, you could just link 4 into Apo if you want. No, we're locked in the Fiend still, so keep that in mind. We're going to go ahead and link 3 into Promethean Princess here. And now we're locked in the Fires, so we're going to go ahead and bring back our Sharvara, and then we're going to link 4 into our Amblo Whale. So this one does end on Amblo. There probably is a way to get into Appaloosa instead. Like if we do this in a different order, we can go into Apo. But instead we're going to set up Amblo Whale with Promethean Engrave. And we're also going to be able to overlay here for a copy of Varudras. And this is kind of nice even without Appaloosa because we do have the negate, and then we do have a lot of interruptions buried in our grave. Oh, also we have to set the trap with Sharvara. Forgot to do that. So that's here. So we have a lot of layered interruptions. We're not playing into Super Poly, right? Because we have a Fire and a Dark. And then we're going to try to hold on to this trap as long as we can for the Rage in the graveyard. And that will be able to get us into SP. So we have a lot of interruptions. We have Promethean, we have Varudras, we have Rage into SP, SP2 interruptions, and that's all off of one Nightmare Throne combo, right? Now, alternatively, what we could do, and this is something you want to do if you are playing Eternal Favorite, or if you have it in, you have access to it, right? We want to leave a Yubel on the field because we want to possibly use this Eternal Favorite as a Super Poly. And therefore, we have to leave Yubel up. We have to have it to Super Poly into the Loving Defender, right? So instead of overlaying, what we can do here is just simply go into Samsara D Lotus in the end phase. And then just tribute off the Spirit of Yubel or something to keep our Yubel on field. And in this case, we have Samsara D Lotus as like a monster effect change. And then we also have an Eternal Favorite set for the Super Poly. So it's just a different version of the end board. I don't think it's as good, but sometimes you just have this card already and you want to make use of it, and there you go. You can leave the Yubel up if you want to. Okay, so yeah, that wraps up the 1-card Nightmare Throne combo. Now let's go into a 2-card Nightmare Throne combo to finish it up. So in this case, we're going to have Nightmare Throne plus either Samsara or Dark Beckoning Beast. And the reason it doesn't matter is because Nightmare Throne is just going to search you whichever one you don't have. So yeah, let's say we just open Dark Beckoning Beast plus Samsara. Actually, let's actually go through that first because it is a little different if you open this specific combo, because you can actually play around Nib in this way. So there's 2 combos that I want to show. We're going to start with the Dark Beckoning Beast plus Nightmare Throne. We're not going to use the Nightmare Throne yet. We're just going to normal summon Dark Beckoning. Then we're going to search the Spirit Gates. And then search another Dark Beckoning. And then normal summon. Okay? From here, we're going to go into our Djinn Buster. Remember how I did that in the first 1-card combo? That was kind of a joke. Well, it's not a joke if you have Nightmare Throne on top of that, because we can activate this Nightmare Throne. And we're protected from Ash. We're protected from Nibiru, okay? So we can activate it, and instead of adding our Samsara D Lotus, there's no point because we can't normal summon it. We've already used our normal summon. We're going to destroy it from the deck, right? And we're going to put it here. And now opening the Spirit Gates can bring it back by discarding something random. Let's say we just discard whatever and bring back our Samsara D Lotus. And now our Lotus is able to go off for full combo without fear of Ash right here, because we have a Djinn Buster to protect. So that's all pretty nice stuff. But let's go ahead and rewind. We've already seen the full Nightmare Throne combo in the 1-card combo. This is just the same combo, but with Djinn Buster on board already. But let's go ahead and rewind. Let's start with just Nightmare Throne and Dark Beckoning Beast without going into the Djinn line. We're going to normal summon our Dark Beckoning Beast first. Activate it to search our Spirit Gates, which we can activate to search our other Dark Beckoning Beast. But here, instead of normaling that Dark Beckoning Beast, we're going to make use of our Nightmare Throne, activate it to search our Samsara Lotus. So in this case, we're going to use our second normal summon to summon our Lotus here, and then we can tribute that off and go into our Lotus plays. Now, in this case, we'll have an extra body with Dark Beckoning Beast, and then an extra revive off of Spirit Gates, on top of the full Nightmare Throne combo that we already have. So let's see what we can do to make use of that. We're going to special out our Spirit of Yubel, and then use it to set and then activate a Nightmare Pain from the deck. Nightmare Pain can then activate. We're going to pop our Spirit of Yubel to search our Grave Squirmer here, and then our Spirit of Yubel can activate to summon out our Yubel, and then we can also use our Nightmare Throne to activate to summon out our Terror Incarnate here. Okay, so that's all pretty good stuff. From here we can actually just link our Terror Incarnate and our Dark Beckoning Beast up into a Yama as per usual, and then our Yama can search our copy of Sharvara on summon. So we have 3 cards in hand still. We have this Opening of the Spirit Gates we haven't used yet. Special summon our Gruesome Grave Squirmer, and then we're going to link the Grave Squirmer and the Yama off up into the Rage. And we want to get that Grave Squirmer in the graveyard, right? We'll put Rage over here just in case for the zones. And now we're going to use Sharvara to pop the Yubel to summon itself out. Now Yubel is able to summon out our Terror Incarnate once again, just for some extra bodies on the field, right? I just realized I forgot to use Yama in the grave when we destroyed stuff with Sharvara. So when we pop with Sharvara, make sure you use Yama to bring out Spirit of Yubel here. We are locked in the Fiends right now. We can go into the Princess line again, and then we still have Grave Squirmer and our Spirit Gates, and we can essentially end up on the Princess or the Ambler Whale plus the Varudross again, but we have extra bodies, and I think we can make better use of that. And this line will especially come up in the Tenpai matchup because we want to set up a monster that really counters Tenpai. So what we're actually going to do here is link these guys off into a copy of Unchained Soul of Anguish. Okay, and this is our link 3. I'm going to put it here. Yeah, it doesn't matter. We're going to put it over there. So our Anguish is a link 3. We're going to have our Sharvara go off to set us the Unchained Trap card. So at the very least, now we have Rage set up for an interruption. But from here, we have a lot of bodies we can work with. We have still the Gruesome Grave Squirmer. We still have the Opening of the Spirit Gates as a revive. And then we have another line coming up. So we're going to link 2 monsters, link 4 material. But we're actually only going to go into a link 2. And that's going to be our Muckraker. Okay, now why would we do that? Well, because we're going to get that material back really quickly. We're going to discard a random card from our hand. We can use the Dark Beckoning Beast that we searched way back at the beginning and haven't used yet. We're going to discard that to summon out our Unchained Soul of Anguish. So from here, we're going to use our Gruesome Grave Squirmer effect that we've been saving this whole time. Banish that to be able to summon out whatever monster we want. To be honest, we can just summon out the Yubel. And now we're going to link off our Anguish and Yubel for a copy of Nightmare Griffin. So Nightmare Griffin is a major pain in the butt for people to deal with, and especially the Tenpai matchup, they have a difficult time. So we're going to go ahead and put the Nightmare Griffin there, and now we still have 1 more revive with Opening of the Spirit Gates, and it's going to cost us 1 more card in hand. We've started off with only using 2 cards, Nightmare Throne and Dark Beckoning Beast. We're going to discard a random card with Spirit Gates to summon back out 1 more level 10. And that's going to be a copy of Yubel. Now, we have a couple options here. We can either just go from Yubel and go to end phase right now with Samsara D Lotus. And in this case, because Yubel is not connected to the Nightmare Griffin, we are not going to have to tribute off something to keep it on the board, right? That's an effect that activates, and because it's not linked, it won't activate. So we will have the Samsara negate here. But instead, what we should do is just overlay these for a rank 10. Make sure you put it in a zone next to the Griffin, and we go into the Varudras once again. So in this case, we have kind of a floodgate with Nightmare Griffin. We have a Varudras for a negation, and then we have an Abominable Chamber of the Unchained. We're going to make sure we summon out the Rage to this zone because the Nightmare Griffin is going to point to it, and it's important that our Rage is going to resolve. And then we have SP and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, this is kind of our end board with a Nightmare Throne plus a Dark Beckoning Beast, which is super nice, especially into Tenpai. Like, they have a really hard time dealing with Nightmare Griffin. They're not going to be able to get any of their battle phase effects because they won't have any linked monsters. Our Muckraker only points down and to the left. So yeah, this is super cool end board, something you should definitely be aware of. I'm sure there's different Nightmare Throne plus Dark Beckoning Beast end boards that you should know, like with Appaloosa, but I think this one is super nice to know and unique. All right, so that's going to wrap it up for a combo video, Yubel Basics episode 3. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and we'll see you guys in the next one for some more Yubel content.